Hey, happy Friday. Made it through another week of being at home, and we're on 4MD4, teaching set number 5. So here we go, there's 4 of them, and we're still looking at our number line, our line plot, and it says, this line plot shows the number of hours studying that 13 10th graders studied. So it says number of hours studying. So 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, and 5. So it looks like they're broken up into halves. Down here we're going to mark true or false on these. So the most hours studied by one student was 4.5 hours. So if we go to the 4.5, how many X's do we see above the 4.5? There's 3, right? So the most hours studied by one student was 4.5 hours. We know that's not true because there's one more up there that studied 5 hours. So this is going to be false. The second one, the least hours studied by one student was 5 hours. The least? No, that was the most. Okay, so it's not the least, it would be the most. So that one's false also. Exactly 5 students studied more than 4 hours. So if we look at our 4, more than 4, we don't count 4, more than 4, so it's going to be these X's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one says exactly 5 students, so that is also false. They're all false. Let's move to number 2. Number 2 says, this line plot shows the amount of time spent practicing by 12 players in hours. So here's the time in hours. The hours spent at soccer practice. Okay, so 0. Here's a 0. Where's our 1? 2, 4. So these are broken up into 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. This is wrong. This should be 1 1/4. 2 2/4, or 1 2/4, 1 3/4, 2. I see. They just and then 2 1/4, 2 2/4. So this should be 3, and this should actually be 1. There's a mistake there. So it looks like here's a 1, a 2, and a 3 broken up into fourths. So the first question there is, the longest hours spent practicing was 2.5 hours. So we find our 2.5, which again, remember I told you to start recognizing halves. So half of 4 is 2. So we could reduce this down to 2.5 instead of 2 2/4. 2.5 equals 2 2/4. So that is the greatest one on our line plot. So the longest hours spent practicing was 2.5 hours. That is true. The shortest hour spent practicing was 1 1/4 hours. So we come over here, 1 1/4. Is that true? Yes. There's 2 of them that did that. Exactly 7 players practiced more than 2 hours. So if we go to our 2, more than 2 is going to be up here. 1, 2, 3. So that is no. More than, no. If it said equal to and more, if it said 2 or more, then that would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then that would be true. But it says more than 2 hours. So false. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. Actually, you know what? I don't know that you have a number 3. Well, maybe you do. And now I don't remember. So because I made copies of this on my own. It's not exactly, and I don't have one of your binders. So you may not have this. So just watch, and it's another example for your students that if you don't have this. Okay, this says the line plot shows the amount of pretzels people ate at a party in cups. So the most pretzels ate was 1 or 2 cups. So if I look over here, here's 0, 1, 2. Here's our halfway point. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's cut up into eighths. Looks like eighths. So we're going to look at 1 or 2. So that would be no. The most pretzels ate was 1 or 2 cups. So that's a big false. The least pretzels ate was 8 and 8 cups. So remember, 8 over 8 is going to equal 1 whole. So that one is true. There were 3 people that ate 1 cup. Exactly 8 people ate less than 2 cups of pretzels. So less than 2. Here's 2. So anything less than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly 8 people. That's true. And our last one down here, number 4. The line plot shows the amount of juice shared with friends at the Valentine's party in cups. So we have 1, 2, and 3. It looks like it's cut up 1, 2, 3, 4 into fourths. The most juice drank was 2 cups. Nope. There's the 2 cups and there's more above that, so that would be false. The least juice drank was 1 and 1/4 cups. 1 and 1/4. That is true. And exactly 3 people drank more than 2 cups of juice. So here's 2. So it has to be above that, not counting 2. 1, 2, 3. Exactly 3. That is true. So you have a student set. I think you have a front and back of both of these, now that I think about it. So student set number 5, there's 1, 2 on the front, and 3, 4 is going to be on the back. So if you have any questions, let me know in the class story. Post your questions and I will get back to you. Have a great weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.